the universal themes of the show is that, with that in mind, that none of us, at one point or another in our lives, none of us feel like we belong. I think that's the central theme. Like, we kind of feel like, we couldn't possibly rise to the challenge that's in front of us or succeed at this, insurmountable obstacle. And Betty really helps Daniel through. And the first time I traveled since the show started was in the end of April, just now. And, it was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, there were police barricades outside the hotel. There were hundreds of people outside. It's exciting. It means people are watching the show, but it's intense. There's something special about the show, the responses that it sort of evokes. Something special about the show, and that everyone has a secret, like, Betty story. Like, they'll come up and kind of tug on my shirt sleeve and say, "Oh," like Forrest Whitaker was telling America at the awards show that his 3 daughters won't let them plan anything on Thursday nights. They stay home, they cook dinner, and they sit in front of the TV and watch a show. It's like our show is, embedding itself in the sort of cultural consciousness, and it's becoming a ritualized show. People have their ritual with our show the way they did. I grew up in the 70s, like watching MASH or All in the Family, or Happy Days. Just those are the nights you stayed in and watched the show. And the fact that we're even mentioned in the same breath as those shows is humbling beyond belief. I really think it's because the universal appeal and across-the-board demographics has to do with the characters that they write. There's every age group, every socioeconomic background represented, sexual orientation, sexual identity. I mean, it's pretty all-encompassing, and they didn't do it in a manipulative way. They didn't set out to go, "Oh, let's write a gay character. Oh, let's write an older African American character. Let's write." The writers write what they knew, and from that came the appeal. It's just, and the show is attacking or addressing, I should say, really potentially intense and tough issues, but they're doing it in a way that doesn't talk down to an audience or preach, and they come in sort of sideways at an issue, dealing with like when Vanessa Williams' assistant on the show, when he came out of the closet to his mother, he's pretending to be straight. His mom was played by Patty Whitcomb. It's like a topic that seems a little trite nowadays, but the amount of fan mail that Michael Urie got, the amount of people all over the world watching the show with their families and having teenage sons come out to their mothers. I mean, it was the fact that it's providing some type of catharsis for people is just great. Like I keep saying, I'm not trying to estimate the importance of the show, but it's really humbling to be a part of it. Cheers, Remington Steele, Moonlighting, all the Vegas, all the big shows, 70s and 80s shows, the male and female lead, the quickest way to kill a show is to have that unrequited love sort of consummated. There's tension, but I think the show is smart in that they're exploring a deepening emotional attachment to one another, and the brother or sister, and the friend to friend, and all the other things that are at least as interesting as a romance. We joke that it'll happen in season 9 and 10.